But I must say this, the most exciting fighter that's acting and fighting in boxing right now is Gervonta Tank Davis.
I was throwing him. He always been like that. You know what I mean? So I gotta focus on what I'm focusing on. He already did what he had to do, bro.
I'm telling you, this version of Tank is gonna be dangerous, bro. If you know about boxing, come on, it is Gervonta Davis, bro.
Mayweather recently shared his opinion on the upcoming rematch between Lamont Roach and Gervonta Davis, stating firmly that Lamont still isn't ready to take down Gervonta. Floyd praised Gervonta's combination of speed, power, and smart technique as a major challenge. He believes Lamont's boxing style and skills fall short, according to Floyd. Unless Lamont completely revamps his strategy, Gervonta remains the clear frontrunner to dominate once again.
Loss versus Gervonta Davis may get overturned. It's not going to happen. Apparently, they said that PBC, the production went out, so they couldn't do a replay, and they have replay in New York. And that's why they're not going to overturn this. Boxing never goes back to overturn anything. They don't investigate any corruption as long as they money good. You know, they didn't go back and overturn. Ryan Garcia cheated. They didn't overturn that to a loss. They did a no contest. It should have been a loss. He had a competitive advantage. When Margarito cheated Miguel Cotto, they didn't go back and open up an investigation. Manny Pacquiao wanted them to investigate and rescore the Jeff Horn fight. People forget that. People screaming corruption there, so they're not going to overturn this. Lamont Roach don't have a major promoter behind him. People will get paid off, and this will go away, and they're going to uphold the win, even though they blatantly broke the rules on 2 separate occasions. The knee should have been counted and wiping the face. So boxing has always been corrupt. It's always been controlled by money. It's one of the inorganic, if that's a word, sports of all time.
This is a secret Lamont Roach knows. Tank can go get you if you're running away, because Tank is very good at knowing the distance where he has most leverage on his punches. If you think about Mike Tyson is strange to say, but he wasn't great with his power when he was very close on the inside. Mike Tyson was a mid-range puncher. That's why Mike Tyson could go in from a distance and step in and knock you out. But when y'all are close, Mike Tyson didn't really have all his power in there. Neither does Tank. So if you're backing up, Tank can go get you. Other than that, Tank has to counter you. That's how Tank knocked out Rolly. That's how Tank knocked out Ryan Garcia. That's how Tank hurt Mario Barrios and started that shit, that snowball. That's how Tank knocked out Leo Santa Cruz. That's why Tank talked so much. He needs you punching.
Since the early stages of his career, Gervonta Davis found himself tangled in a complex bond with Floyd Mayweather. What began as mentorship slowly became more about control. Observers said Floyd often dictated Gervonta's career moves and image, instead of letting him build freely. It appeared Mayweather was shaping Davis in his own image while pulling strings from behind the scenes.
Adrian had the weigh-in. So from his weigh-in, they meet us at the food spot. So from there, we go to the gym. So remind you, they already got this set up. Floyd already got it set up. He already posted on Instagram. It probably was like 100 people in there, and he turned the heat up. That's what Floyd do. He turned the heat up in the gym while you in there. So he turned the heat up. Boom. We spar, but while we sparring, Floyd is in the ring. Like every time I'm punching, Floyd like grab my hand, like yank it back. Where so I can't even punch Devin. So it was times that like I catch Devin, boom, or I'm about to swing and Floyd like yank my hand back, or he'll push me to the ropes. Like he was actually like touching me while we were sparring. Like
why?
Like, he was, cause it was like Devin was his guy, cause Devin was training at his gym at the time. So, and he was training with his father. So. Devin was on. I mean, Floyd was on Devin's side.
Sounds
so
like
that's
a conspiracy to me.
Yeah, but later down the line, probably about like a couple months. No, this was recently. Not recently, but probably like 2 years ago. I asked Devin to like come to like spar me. And he was like, "No, I ain't no sparring partner." I had somebody hit him up that was close to him.
Davis has been open about the difficult experiences he had while training under Mayweather, especially in sparring with Devin Haney. On one occasion, as Davis began dominating Haney, Floyd abruptly ended the spar, breaking Davis's rhythm. This happened repeatedly, and many felt Haney was favored. Davis never got to fully prove himself, even in private, leaving him feeling limited by the man meant to elevate him.
Floyd, I was doing him. He always been like that. You know what I mean? So I gotta focus on what I'm focused on. He already did what he had to do, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Me, if I did what I like what he did in the sport, I ain't gonna lie, I'd be the same way. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I don't fault him for like stand to himself and things like that. You know what I mean? But it's also a part of me type thing, like come back and help too. You know what I mean? So yeah. It's much love to the whole Mayweather promotion. You know what I mean? Ain't no bad blood type shit. And a lot of people think like when I be tweeting on Instagram, I be mad. I just be talking.
Talk after talk, Davis once viewed his link with Mayweather as helpful mentorship, but later saw it as something more controlling. Floyd, famous for smart business choices, made sure Davis's path served his own goals. From fight choices to media image, Floyd took control. As Davis matured, he recognized the pattern and felt increasingly frustrated. Eventually, their relationship faded as Davis sought independence in his boxing journey.
First of all, Floyd don't never want to see no one like a fighter do better than them. Why the say Terrence Crawford should fight? Finna be there. That don't make no fucking sense. He don't never want to see nobody be better than him. I'm telling you.
You next in line. This is what you next in line.
Is there like a
last question
is there like a love hate for like
yeah,
fighter?
Yeah, I love the fighter. Like I ain't gonna lie, if he was like chill, like he'll be the smoothest. But he's not. You know what I mean? He's a great fighter. And my bad. And he cause I don't want to say like he's just a scumbag, but it's like he's a great fighter, and sometimes he can be good, but it's like it's always I'm this.
Floyd Mayweather once had concerns about Davis's real ability, but new training videos have shown Davis doing intense workouts and lightning-fast combinations. That stunned Floyd. These clips displayed a more driven and powerful fighter than expected. Now Mayweather appears to realize Tank's real potential and might have to reconsider the doubts he once had about him.
When is Gervonta Davis going to go somewhere in a powerful power? Illinois deserve to be in a powerful power? Absolutely. Do Terrence Crawford deserve to be in a powerful power? Absolutely. But what about Gervonta Tank Davis? I mean, he deserves to be somewhere also in a powerful power.
Why don't they give him that credit?
Because he was affiliated with me.
He was once in my shadow. Many say Davis didn't shine against Lamont Roach due to personal struggles, not Roach's talent. Davis admitted he was facing mental and physical issues and even considered taking a break or therapy. Yet he still stepped into the ring, not at his best. Now that the rematch is set, Davis has a chance to reveal his true form. If healthy, fans hope to witness a smarter, stronger version this time around.
He wants to do therapy. He wants to do real estate. They want to say he wasn't all in because him and Roach are friends and he's going to be focused for the second fight. A lot of excuses. They want to say it's because of the braids, the oil getting in his eye. Whatever. This is what really happened. And I just now came to this conclusion because I've been making some other videos for Patreon. But Lamont Roach posted a video recently on
that first bout exposed some flaws in defense and stamina, and Roach took full advantage. This second match is Davis's shot to show whether that off night was an accident or a deeper issue. With doubts about his sharpness and strength, this fight is about more than victory. It's about proving his place at the top. His split with Mayweather Promotions was loud, messy, and public. From insults to power struggles, fans saw how fractured things really were.
Bob Arum. It's good for them to do it and become their own boss. And then if another guy does it, it's not good for the sport. He's disloyal. And what's wrong with Tank saying he want to be his own boss? And honestly, I've been there. The relationship between them two is very toxic. It's a toxic relationship. It's up and down and up and down. And I'm not going to elaborate to everything that I know, but it's a very toxic relationship. And that's why when I tweet stuff, I don't tweet often, but when I tweet, I may fire off 50 tweets in the day. And that's why when I tweeted certain things about the relationship, Tank retweeted it because he knows. Like, I'm not just gonna say what it is. It's a very toxic relationship. It's back and forth. And I think it will serve him best to go and be his own boss.
Many boxing experts think fans are overrating Roach's victory in that first bout. According to them, Davis went down because of grease in his eye, not from a knockout blow. That fact changes how one should view the fight's outcome now. Tank is coming back fiercer and more focused, warning everyone that this new version of him is dangerous and definitely not to be underestimated.
People keep saying like Lamont dang near like beat Tank like clean, like basically like we seen it, like yeah, he did Tank that one, but like Tank was limping out the ring. Bro, he didn't even get over on Tank for real. Y'all only saying that because Tank took the knee. And when Tank took the knee, it wasn't how like Ryan Garcia was when he took the knee once Tank went to his body. It was like, dang, like I'm taking him to get right back up. Can you do that in boxing? No. But y'all can't say that basically that, oh yeah, he won because of the knee. That shows that people just want to see Tank lose, bruh. Cause y'all betting y'all money on basically Tank losing because of that knee. Yes, it was a good fight. Yes, I'm not gonna lie. Lamont was defending himself like he's skilled. But bro, he ain't walk all over Tank. Tank, bro, if y'all go back and watch the highlights, I just watched the highlights last night. Them last couple of rounds, bro, Lamont was balled up. Tank was literally, he was trying, like you could tell Tank was like, dang, I waited too long. So he was trying to throw some stuff like to make sure he get that one blow, but it didn't work. So that's why they doing that rematch so they could start over from scratch, round 1 to round 12. We gonna start over clean and let's see what's going on now. Now y'all want to be saying, oh no, man, I ain't gonna lie. At the end of the day, the first fight is what matters. No, it don't. Tank was, look, he was willing enough to say, hey, bro, let's do a rematch. Now, if he ain't do a rematch, it's like, oh, yeah, something going on. Nah, hush, hush. Hey, Calvin, step to the side. Let me get somebody else right now. I'm going to be hush. Let me get back in the gym and put my hat on.
Even Davis's usual critics believe he'll take this rematch with ease. They agree he's now locked in mentally, understanding that this fight could shape his legacy. Unlike before, his attention isn't on rivals, only on Roach. That kind of tunnel vision, they say, is what he needs to win back control. After fans question the previous referee's fairness, they're demanding a clean setup now. Roach's team wants Steve Willis removed and unbiased judging instead.
You know, obviously the part with the grease in the eye, that took on a life of its own. You know what I'm saying? That was a headline in the fight. One is, what did you think when he said that initially, just like the grease in the eye? But two is like, when you was in the fight, was there any point that you saw that? Like, did you see like him kind of messing with his eye, or did you have any indication that that was something that was bothering him?
No, see, and that's the thing. If you look at the whole fight, he was never bothering his eyes before
you jabbed him.
Before I jabbed him. Even that right hand that, like, you know what I'm saying, that kind of landed, he kind of rolled with it. But after that, you could see him wipe his eye. And then right after I hit him with the jab, you can see him wipe his other eye. So it's like it was corresponding to which hand that I punched him with and exactly which eye. So it's like crazy for him to say it's grease in my eye. And I think even when he say that, you could see me, because I'm right beside him, you can see me like, nigga, what you talking about? So
right. But you say you don't think he willing though.
Whatever. See, but who cares? Like, sweat gonna get in your eye, blood gonna get in your eye, spit fucking around and get in your eye. You know what I'm saying? But you, it's not like you can be like, all right, time out, ref. Hold on, ref. You can't do that.
Right. Would you be cool with Steve Willis doing the next fight?
Hell no.
He can't do the next fight.
No, he can't do the next fight.
Right.
No.
Pops, it's a no?
Hell no.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah. You know how many Coach Ben on him, man. He lucky he ain't running Coach Ben after that fight.
But look how many times he fucked the fight up though. Right. The knee, him going to the corner to get assistance, like, who knows? Not saying that they did any cheating shit or nothing like that. But like, he wiped his face with a towel. You can't do that.
Right.
You can't do none of that. Right. That's a disqualification. You turned your back on the ref after you took a knee. Usually the ref gonna be like, all right, he don't want to fight no more. Fight's off.
Veteran boxer Gary Russell Jr. is one of many who don't think Roach clearly won. He believes Roach held his own, but didn't do enough to take the belt. To beat a champion like Davis, Russell says, a fighter needs to clearly dominate throughout the entire bout, which, in his opinion, Roach failed to do.
He's 100% correct. Personally, I had Gervonta Davis up a round. Because whenever you have rounds where nobody's doing anything, I'm not just going to do what most people do, and especially people that don't like Gervonta Davis, which is just give the round to the other guy because Gervonta Davis didn't manage to knock him out that round. Okay, so This is Gary Russell Jr. clearly saying, man, no, I don't think Lamont Roach won that fight. You also had Al Bernstein. And Al Bernstein, I'm telling you, is a very, very straight, fair guy who I don't know if he was on that call, but he used to work with Showtime. I don't know if he was on there. I don't recall if I heard him. I think it was Rolly Ronaldo that was calling it. But Al Bernstein, who was a very, very objective person, said, hey, look, no. Sorry to break it to you, but Gervonta Davis won that fight. Yeah, Lamont Roach put up a really good fight, but Lamont Roach was not dynamic. He did not do anything to really separate himself from Gervonta Davis. He just kept it equal. He just tried to keep it even the entire fight.
Jeff Mayweather's breakdown of Gervonta Davis's fight with Roach pointed out major flaws. He saw Roach keeping a high tempo, landing more shots, and steering the fight's rhythm. That forced Davis onto the back foot and made him look less like himself. Jeff was taken aback since Davis is usually sharp and deadly. Instead, he looked off balance. Jeff thinks Roach's high activity may have won it. His analysis adds more fuel to the debate, making the rematch even more crucial for Tank.
I think that's the worst decision I think I might have ever seen. I don't know how that's not a knockdown. But anyway, thoughts on the overall fight first, Jeff?
I think that it was a good fight on both sides. And I do think that Roach actually won the fight. I thought he outworked Tank. I thought that he threw more punches than Tank. It seemed like Tank was fighting like he always do. It just seemed like he was just waiting for him to figure out whoever was in front of him like he always do, and then go to work. But this time when he went to work, the guy went to work back. So, I mean, he had somebody that was firing back at him. It's the same way.
Yeah. I think the commentators and most of us at home thought, kind of the same thing. You thought Roach would bank some of those early rounds to prepare for the onslaught later. And when it didn't really happen, it was pretty even. We said, well, this is going to be a one-sided fight. But yeah, it never happened. And Roach, through the latter half of the fight, actually seemed to do better than the first half.
I thought he did good pretty much all the way through the fight. I mean, there was a few rounds where he didn't do that well, but I mean, I thought he won the fight clearly. I mean, I didn't see Gervonta really the Gervonta that I know. I mean, I'm a big Gervonta fan, but I didn't see none of the Gervonta that I'm used to seeing.
As Waka says, Roach's win over Davis wasn't just close. It clearly showed Roach was the better man that night. He points to Roach's smart approach and steady control as proof of Davis's flaws in endurance and defense. Even if judges didn't score it that way, as argues that real boxing minds can see when someone truly wins, regardless of the final numbers on the card.
Do you think that they should have counted that point against him? Do you think Lamont Roach won, or do you think it wasn't enough?
It could be considered a rightful draw, but I also lean toward that Lamont Roach won that fight. I believe he won the fight simply because he outclassed the champ. In boxing, you have to do two things to beat the champ. You either got to knock out the champ or completely outclass the champ. But you have to beat the champ. You're not going to just get the win because you survived or you put up a good fight. Bro lost that fight.
Facts.
Like, when you really, really know boxing and know boxing for what it really, really is, Tank lost that fight. No matter how much people, emotions and feelings are attached to it, because Tank is a hero of the hood. The ghetto loved the Tank. Gervonta Davis has been crowned king. My personal opinion, I don't think he should take the rematch, and I think he's already done what you just said. I think off of what he's already accomplished with the draw, he's already in a life-changing situation to where he could change every person around his life forever. He's now what's called a prize fighter, guaranteed. He's now what's also called a A-side fighter right now. But if he does what I like to call the Deontay Wilder and chase the legacy of getting the win, because you thinking from more of 100% on the boxing aspect than the business aspect, which Gervonta Davis has clearly showed everybody, the larger amount of his success is from the business module of the way he does boxing that was being gifted to him through Mayweather and Mayweather Promotions and PBC. But at the end of the day, so what? That's what he's supposed to do. I'm not mad at Gervonta Davis for that.
So what's your opinion on Davis's preparation and mindset as he heads into the rematch?